Hello, everybody. This is Karen, your cosmic messenger. And today I just wanted to talk to you about something that is concerning me since there is a lot of chaos going on in our planet. And now this chaos is now obviously like it's spreading everywhere and even in our community. So I wanted to raise my concerns about this because I'm here to unite everybody. We need to stop fighting. We need to stop dividing ourselves. Because there is no right and wrong. It's just all perspectives. So I wrote down a few things that I'd like to express so we can stop this madness, this chaos. Remember, it all comes from us. Um, so it starts with us and the ball ends with us. So if we can do anything, is just understand what is happening on the outside so we can hold a space of unity that will start from within us. So let me start today. I was happy to join ELENA webinar. She does that every month. And I was so shocked. She was talking about how she and Dr. Salla have a falling out. She was explaining that they had some disagreements. She did not go into details, but that she's wishing him the best. And then she wished him goodbye. And I'm like, what is going on? So I have no idea. I just had to go and do research afterwards when I saw his Telegram and Facebook. But listen to this. So I'm like listening to her talking about this breakup, and then she went ahead to talk about her books. She's saying, I think people don't like me because of what I write, all the disclosure I bring out in my information. And then I wrote a comment like, let me check what I wrote. So what did I write? I said, I believe the people that don't like Elena, because I like her. So I'm like saying the people, right, that don't like her, is not because of her books. And I said, I believe, that's my perspective, right? That the people that don't like Elena is not because of her books, because she was just talking about that. And then boom, my connection was cut. I'm like, what happened? Did the video have a glitch? And no, I was actually banned from the webinar. I'm like, oh my goodness. They're cutting off people that actually care for them. So that's pretty sad to see that. And I had no idea what's going on. I had to, like, afterwards, I went and saw Dr. Sala's Telegram, and he's saying things that, he just gave her a criticism because he mostly, he's part of her group, right? He's always in her conventions. And he just said, it seems like she can't take like a constructive criticism, and that I don't understand. Also, he mentioned something about Jean Charmoyan, that she also cut him off, and he wrote about, I don't understand how one day she's like talking about his experiences with him, and now she has completely deleted him and said that all his information is false. I'm like, wow. What is going on? Like, I don't know. I haven't heard her perspective, what happened. So I'm just relaying my experience. So I'm like shocked with all of this. So at the end, he says, I'll put the link of his, I think I read on Facebook or Telegram. She's like, she seems like she's running a cult. Wow. I think that we all need to take a step back, take a breather. we all have different perspectives. It's like, sisters, siblings fighting with each other, right? We all have close family or close friends, and we all have different perspectives, but we can't just uh, keep dividing ourselves. We need to go back to neutrality because we all have different points of view, perspectives of the same thing, but that doesn't mean we need to, go separate ways. We have more things in common than differences. You have to see his post where he talks on and on how he agrees with her with so many points, but apparently they chose to focus on what's dividing them. So let me go back because I wrote down, I don't want to miss any points. So we talked about the webinar that was banned, and it's not the first time that this has happened with her and her group. I was part of the My Chicks, which is a Telegram that they have, and the gatekeeper there, or the organizer, Tina, Disco Tina, she's a sweetheart. I've had contact with her through text several times, and everything was great. So then I was part of the group. So I decided, I've always been posting about Elena, as you see on my Facebook for many years. I really appreciate all her information, and I do believe on her information, not for just Karen saying it, but my guides have also validated the information. I've had contact with Stephen Shua, his spirit. I connected with him, and he also validated her information. And my guides, which are part of the Intergalactic Federation, guided me to her. So I have been following her and listening to all she says. Um, so therefore, as I was saying, I was part of that Telegram group, and then I shared one of my posts. I made a post talking about Jesus and how Enki, Prince Ea, had genetically modified Homo sapiens sapiens, and then as well with Jesus. So I made a whole post explaining that. So I said, how am I gonna, what image should I use? So I used one of her images that she has of EA that she uses in her YouTube videos. And then I said, well, he's looking angry. I'm like, I can't use that picture because he looks angry. So, because the whole point is like he's looking, so I had like Jesus and EA, right? So he's like looking at Jesus, he can't be angry while looking at him, wouldn't make sense, right? So I said, well, I need to put a smile because like he's looking at his own creation, right? So I modified the smile, and then I went super excited. Let me share it there in the group. And I said, Steph, and then through text, through Telegram, I said, Steph is the creator of the images. I said, sorry, Steph, I changed the smile because I'm making a post about Jesus and Enki. Oh my God, I had such a bad reaction. You're using her, like her images, distorting it. And I'm like, I hadn't seen that perspective, right? It's not like I'm making money, right? I'm posting it on Facebook. It's a post. It's an article. So I'm not using like a copyright infringement kind of level, right? But the people in the group attacked me so bad. There was this lady that she was like, wow, like it was like vitriol. And then even brought in Danny Henderson's name, like, oh my God, if it was Danny, she would be cursing you out. I'm like, What's up with this group? I got so like saddened and scared. I reached out to Tina through Messenger, but she didn't respond either. And then I was actually cut off the group. I was so distraught. I was like, how do you do that? Like I was trying to do something nice. It was something beautiful I wrote, and people are just like treating, not, I don't know about others, but at least me, who's like there with good intentions, uh, as if I were something bad. I think they have had such a bad reaction towards other people are like, attacking Elena, that she now, or they can't tell who's actually there for them. So it's pretty sad that they are just isolating themselves like that. So going back to Elena's webinar today, so she said that she wished Salla goodbye and best to him. So at that point, I was like, what is going on? So that's when I said about the book, and then I got banned. So then I looked at Facebook and Telegram. Let me see. And so yeah, like I said, this was not the first time this has happened to me, and I don't understand. They're so sweet, but they just treated me like shit. But it doesn't matter. I've continued to write about because it's not about them. To me, it's about the message. I'm a messenger, so her message, her information is what I like to distribute and spread to all, because it's galactic, it's cosmic history, it's cosmic information. I've always admired her books. I've read them all, and actually there's one I still haven't. I haven't bought the Koldasi yet. Also, I forgot to add, I get a lot of comments of people talking about her looks. People, cut it off. I think it's deplorable when women are out there in the internet criticizing other women. Women just go at it like, if it doesn't matter if it's Madonna or who it is. People are just attacking other women. Men less, but they also do that. They want to make women like less, so they pick something that is beautiful and try to make it negative. So yes, we can all see that Elena has changed her looks. She has said it herself. She was a bigger size and she changed her diet and she became different. I don't think it's just about losing weight, because or else your face or a person's face would, you just sag. If she did plastic surgery, great for her. She's looking great. And if it's the help of AI when she puts the videos out, so she looks even better. I have an AI right now on this video where I have the lashes, like a little makeup here. So I did put a little filter here too, for your information. I like to keep things clear. So people want to trash her for her looks. I mean, this is low. Oh, and then they're saying like she's a clone. I mean, this is horrendous commentary. People, please, like, get it together. This is not how you shine your light. You know, you go higher than your frequency. That's just low, and it's just you showing your ugliness. Um, why not celebrate others because they look beautiful? All right. Another point that I've heard being talked about is the comment that Elena is like the Pope. You can only go to God through Pope, through the Pope, because she's like the emissary, right? So she comes out as like, I'm the only one that represents the ET races, the Federation. Therefore, it's the symbology, right? The symbology she also that she is so against towards, somehow she becomes that, because as she is saying, I'm the only emissary and the only one that has the contact, the real contact. So people end up seeing her in that light, unfortunately. It's not something, I understand her point that like she is the emissary. She, I mean, she's got past lives, and we'll talk about that as well, in my perspective. So you have to understand that she has her experience and the other people have different experiences, but then people turn it around and attack her for being an emissary, unfortunately. When I mentioned that I think that the people that don't like her, it's not about her books, because I get comments on my group about Elena, and they are just talking about her personality, and they don't like it because she's like super sweet. So that's kind of like something I don't understand. Why people think it's fake. I mean, if she were something mean, then I don't know what people would be talking about her. So we can't judge people by their sweetness. So that comes to me kind of like bizarre. Um, and so the point is that she's talking bad about other people, and it's okay to express yourself. First, she was talking about Ismael, and I do not like his energy, in the sense that his information, I listen to everybody. So Ismael Perez, he is like David Wilcock. He's a great researcher. So he will tell you all the information that's been already put out there since Corey Good and even before that. So she attacked him because he started attacking her. So why would you do that? Like, let's stop the attacks. That was not right what he did. If you don't agree with a point of view, you can say so, but you don't start trashing people on your videos. That's not how you're supposed to go. You can say, oh, I like this about this person. There's this point that I don't agree upon, and that's it. But you don't attack people. So she had all the right to come back and put her point of view that that's not right, and she also doesn't agree with his information. It seems to me again that he's a researcher more than an experiencer. For example, he says on his interviews that he gets all his information through channeling, but I haven't seen one channeling. And I try to research, so forgive me if I lost a video there that you actually, or he was actually channeling. But I don't know. I have put out videos with my channelings, and I have all my channelings recorded. And it's more for a personal use, and for me to be guided on information that I'm putting out. So that's how I have my channeling set up. but so he has all these books, and then when he's asked again, how do you get your information? Oh, it's through channeling, through telepathy, and he was also asked, oh, so your family, they know like all about this? He's like, yeah, just when I started this journey when I was 21. Not There's not much detail about it. Sorry again if I missed those details, but the detail that he said is like, oh, my family is not part of it. They don't know much. What I just stay in my room, do my books. Like, when I heard that, it made no sense, because at least for me, I or the people that are part of my life, my loved ones that live with me, or my immediate friends, they know when things happen, and they happen a lot. Uh, like, things that are unexplainable, they are synchronicities, and also they go out and are paranormal. Like, so all my experiences I share with my friends, like, oh, I saw an orb of light going into my apartment. I was walking my dogs, like, went right from the sky right into my building. Like, examples like that, like, they happen all the time. Like, not all the time, but they happen a lot, compared to a normal experience coming in 3D. So your friends know that you are constantly having experiences. So does your family. So for him to answer like, oh, they know nothing about it, it makes no sense. That does not happen. If people are around you, they know that you are an experiencer. So that's the point, that she had the right to talk about him, just like I am, giving you my perspective on him. That doesn't mean that all the information he's giving you is, I'm not going to put a percentage of what is correct or not. But there are points that I don't agree. His understanding about Enki, understanding about AI. So it's okay. We have different opinions, and on my perspective, I just got the sense that he's just there to make money, selling books, when all this information is not given or unique to him, and then he spins out his own twist on things. So I don't, because my perspective, he's not a direct experiencer, then I haven't shared any of his material. And again, people can follow him, and again, I listen to everybody because everybody has something to give. So it's not bad listening to him. You just have to, like, take the goods, and then, disregard what does not resonate with you, like everybody. I'm just saying that she just had the right to, point out to him that energy that just came out from him was not pretty, and that's not how we should treat each other in our community. Then she also goes and attacks Elizabeth April, Bashar indirectly without naming him, Gaia as well. Talks bad about channeling. It's like, who else are we gonna attack now? Like, again, every person, every source of information has their point of view, and we need to just grasp what resonates with us, but then don't leave the other part to just trash them. Like, I've never done videos to trash somebody. I'm giving you a perspective that everybody has a point, and then another that you don't resonate, and I'm giving you the points why I don't resonate. So again, with Elizabeth April, my God, she's a sweetie, right? She's got, I don't know, double, but much more viewers than um, ELENA DANAAN. And we need to step back and understand why before criticizing somebody. For example, EA, I think she's such a sweetheart. It doesn't matter to us or most of the people I talk to uh, if her families are the Greys, Zeta Reticuli. She admits it. She's talked about it back in her interviews that she had with Gaia. Uh, but she's putting out a positive message most of the time. Sometimes it's not, and it drives me crazy. I'm like pulling my hair out. I'm like, I can't believe she said that. Oh my goodness. I'm like, you gotta go to the supermarket, stock up because it's, tomorrow, it's like putting a lot of fear on people. Corey has done that. Go to the supermarket because it's going to be a blackout. We're going to be days without food. Oh my God. You got to run the list. A lot of things like that are just fear based. But it's okay. It's not going to make me stop. It's like having a sister again, right? It'll drive us crazy sometimes. But that doesn't mean you're going to X them out. You're going to probably have your quarrels. But at the end of the day, we all love each other because we just want to always focus on the positive side of things. There will always be a negative information that doesn't resonate with you, but sometimes that information will resonate with people. Oh, okay, I like the fear. I'm gonna, stock up, and it's like a protection that humans have. It's the animalistic part of our survival mode. We turn on survival mode and we become like animals. Sleep, eat, shelter, right? Protection and reproduce. That's the basics of animal kingdom, right? So we need to go beyond that. We need to just not look at one perspective, but you got to come here and now you see the whole. Because either you're here seeing one perspective, but you gotta go above and then you can see the whole and not be stuck on that one point of view. And to do that, you gotta listen to everybody. And my point of view is not the right, hers is not the right, and etc. Because there is no right point of view. It's just different perspectives. I think Matthias de Stefano's message also keeps repeating that. If you follow him, that is a good message that he always puts out. Nobody holds the truth, and that is something that I've always known. Since I'm a kid, I'm always like telling people, you gotta open yourself up to all of the information and not be stuck on your own perspective. So let me continue. Bashar, I understand what she's saying. Salla was also give her a whole list why she agrees. Why he agrees with ELENA about the Greys and that agenda. I've met Daryl Anka. He's a sweetheart, and I love Bashar's information. And it's just I don't agree with the hybridization plan that we're gonna be becoming the sixth hybrid race. It's like that doesn't resonate with me. But it doesn't stop me from listening all the wonderful information that he puts out there. So it doesn't affect me. I mean, I think it's just crazy that we're out there just like trashing each other again because we're just focusing on the parts that don't resonate with us. She also trashed Billy Carson. It's like, why? Again, he's not nobody's 100% right, but you catch somebody saying something that wasn't right, which he said something in an interview that didn't make sense. But hey, people get nervous, and then you can say something that might not be correct, or her perspective of her experience in her history. By the way, I think Elena is a reincarnation uh, of a being that worked with Enki. And she would be known as Ninursag. Ninursag was that serpent humanoid race uh, that had a lot of wisdom. She came here and helped Enki develop Homo sapiens sapiens as a geneticist working with him. So she could be the mother of Homo sapiens sapiens. Regardless, I think that they did a bad thing. They messed with the hominids here in this planet and tweaked them. They had been already tweaked many times by different the farmer races, right? From the intergalactic confederation where I'm connected with. So they were part of that experiment, right? They're just developing the hominids, the native hominids from this planet. But then they came to dumb them down. You don't do that, right? It's like you're coming to a greenhouse and then we're just making the vegetables better, right? GMOs, genetically modified. So we're making the vegetables super vegetables, or the animals super animals, or domesticated animals like the wolf. Now you have a dog. Now you have hundreds of dog breeds. Why? Because humans are genetically tweaking our own animals. So imagine ETs do the same. They go planet to planet, modifying the natural born creations of that planet. In our case, we had the hominids, Neanderthal, Homo erectus. So, you know, each iteration they've been tweaking us. And now we have Enki following his brother, who he was always fighting with. Okay, let's dumb them down so we can do what we have to do here in this mission on this planet. And then I get it. He understood that, wow, like I just did a bad thing. I just tweaked down something that had already been tweaked before. And he decided, you know what? I'm not gonna be partaking on this anymore. And then he decided to set aside the humans that he had created and hid them away from his evil brother Enlil, who was half reptilian. So at the end of the day, he started out in the wrong foot and then wanted to redeem himself to do the right thing. And now they're back. She's back after doing, they had their missteps, so nobody's innocent. So she's back, I think, in Elena form now, in this incarnation, to repair what they've done before. Her and Enki are back here to do good, right? Because what happens is you end up getting tied up in a karma loop because of what you've done in your past life. You kind of have to go, and it's not karma, it's something bad. You have to come, and no, I'm just saying it's just something they're coming back to do something good, and that's what she's been doing. No, maybe she doesn't come out to say that I am a reincarnation of Ninursag, because imagine, people already don't, a lot of people don't like her for being sweet. Like, can you imagine? Oh, you were a part snake in the past, forget it. Like that, I think maybe if that is the case, maybe I'm just thinking why she hasn't come out with that information. Um, but hey, maybe she has her own different take on that, and we'll know. I'm just saying that that's a possibility. So don't now crucify me for that one. Uh, I'm trying to understand the bigger picture. And another point is, okay, why trash Billy? That's what I was saying. Like, no, like they are people that have contributed without channeling. He doesn't channel. He's a researcher, and he has had his own experiences. So we need to all the information we knew. We all everything was before she arrived, before Elena arrived with her. Point of view. And so we can't trash all the past, all the information we've gotten through channelers, through experiencers, through researchers like himself, Billy, David Wilcock. He's a researcher. He's got his own personal experiences. I don't follow him anymore, but I still believe like all his research, his program Wisdom Teachings is fantastic. So I will follow that series from Gaia in a heartbeat. I really enjoy that one. So also a lot of fear based, like we're gonna get solar flash. We're gonna melt down in the solar flash. We're gonna have uh, this whole revolution, military takeover, that we're gonna have the internet dark. We're gonna be in darkness for days. Like all of these prophecies that have never come true. It was all about QAnon. No. No, Tom Hanks is not a pet. The stories were getting gross by the minute. So, yeah, let's get out of that. This is not how spirituality is, and that's just coming from Dark ETs and the Pentagon spreading all this misinformation. Another point, she talks about channeling. You shouldn't do channeling because it's bad, blah blah blah. It's like, but then she says, you can contact your family, and that's great. I agree with that. With the part that you should contact your family, don't get the phone and start dialing Cleopatra. Everybody, oh, I talked to Cleopatra. Come on. This is just frequency waves. It's like an app. You were able to reach the app, and now you're communicating with that app. That doesn't mean that you were Cleopatra in your past life. It just means you're downloading from the Akashic or from that app called Cleopatra, and that's about it. Okay, that doesn't mean you were her or anything like that. I was king whatever in the past. Like people just, it's a lot of misinformation, and it's okay. You try to teach people, and then sometimes they just don't want to hear it, so they get offended. So the point is, channeling, in my perspective, is awesome. This is how we've gotten so far in our disclosure, because we've gotten so much information from other dimensions through channeling. It's our telephone to the other dimension, just comes from contact through entanglement, a quantum entanglement at a distance, and that's what happens through the gamma frequency. We can receive that information as us being an antenna, and then we can decipher it through our avatar, and that's how it works. It's not some possession. It's like radio frequency, and you're the radio. Is the radio possessed now because it got to decode a frequency? No. So you can channel. Just channel your family. Okay? You sit down, and the first thing you're going to do is most likely 99% is you're gonna reach out to an unknown entity with a unknown name you've never heard of, and then you can start asking questions. It takes time. First channel, my guys are saying, "Oh, we're here, and we are anchor," and they said like we're here or we are anchor, and I'm like, what do you mean? Are you in the hangar of a ship? Because we were talking about, they were saying that they're in a ship. So, and then they corrected me. No, we are anchor, and that turns out to be actually R. It's Ra in reverse, and it was always R. It's just that the way hieroglyphics are written, it's in the opposite. So people understood it as Ra, but it's actually R. And A and G, I thought it was Ankh, but it's like Ankh with a G. Ankh, and that's a code for a list astronomers have put out to discoveries they have, so they put a number to it. So anyways, all of that information through channeling is great. But the way she says it comes out wrong, even though she has said the same. Channel your family. Don't pick up the phone to channel somebody you don't know, because you don't know who's on the other end. And that's right. But because she keeps hammering on the just don't channel, even though she says it's okay to contact your family, so the message gets over and over. She repeats it over and over. It comes out in the wrong way. So that's my perspective on that. Another point is, okay, I have a lot of things that I don't agree with her as far as politics goes, and with Thorhan too. They have openly said that they believe Putin is a good guy, and that the Ukraine war was an illusion, like actors, like Hollywood, and that it's an illusion. Maybe for their dimension, we are actually experiencing everything as an illusion. I get that analogy, but we are here experiencing that video game. So for us, it is not an illusion, because our avatar is experiencing this 3D reality. So maybe they should be more careful when they talk about, oh, well, when they say, it was actors, it's like not right. I posted a question to her so I could understand more deeply, like, but hold on, these are the numbers of deaths we've had from Ukraine. All these hundreds, tens of hundreds of deaths, soldiers from Ukraine, from even Russia, they're all dying, like children have been abducted. So I wrote a long list on a question to her to see if what she would have to say about it, and she just like read through it but didn't say it out loud. She didn't want to look at all the numbers. She said, "Oh, I don't want to look at all these numbers," and didn't answer the question. So it's, to me, it was kind of hard to see that she's ignoring all these deaths that have occurred, and that no, Putin is not a great guy, as Thorhan has mentioned as well. And again, I don't know, it's probably their perspective, but here we don't see it that way. He has committed crimes against humanity, keeps his people in this dictatorship without any freedoms, and kills anybody that speaks against it. They are pretty much there in their government media, and they don't know any better. So thing is not against Russian people. I feel sad that they're just brainwashed, um, and that they keep on this in this regime. So I don't agree with her regarding Putin, regarding Trump. So we have political points that I don't agree with her. That doesn't mean that I'm going to discard all the information she brings from the cosmos. Like, let's just stick to the cosmos, please. About politics, please don't get involved. We're so divided already, and just adding ammunition to that, it just makes things even worse. So it would be helpful when they don't talk about their, or they can talk about their perspective, but then just don't keep saying it every video. Like, I don't know, she loses followers with that. Um, but it's a shame that she would divide. For example, I am a Democrat, and I have friends that are MAGA. It's like, I try not to talk about it with them because we don't see eye to eye. But that doesn't stop me from loving my friends. I have had a friend that she cut me off because I tried to give her, this is my point of view, but she didn't want to hear it. It's sad. People just want to cut themselves off instead of focusing on what unites us. There's more things in common than points that we don't agree upon. There's always more things in common, people, and love is what binds us all. So you got to focus on that. And if we look at the Federation itself, however you want to call it, the light, Federation of Worlds. I understand when Elena's talking about, oh, this Federation of Light doesn't exist because it's it's just something that the Greys made up. It's possible. It's just EA, again, Elizabeth April is putting out a lot of messages. So, and it's always with love. Let's just focus on that, please. Now, the Federation itself is an entity, let's say, like the UN, but I don't like to say UN because UN has a bad name here in this planet. But it's a agglomeration. It's an agglomeration of different races from everywhere that get together and they talk about their points, right? And that's how they go about. And you have the Nogumak, right? They are really completely different than a humanoid race. Because it's like in the animal kingdom, the snake has their own way of being, but they're still part of creation. You're not just going to eliminate all the snakes from the fauna. That doesn't happen. Everything was created from source. So they're out there fighting just like we're here fighting our wars. They, on their dimension 4, 5D, are, also some claim, oh, in 5D it's just a different level. They don't have any wars. They're all in 4D. I disagree. It's still 5D from my perspective. 4D, you have the hybrid races, but then everything else is 5D. The whole universe is 5D. Anyways, that's a different topic, but the Federation has different members with their points of view. So one of them is going to agree with Putin, like Elena. Another group of humanoids or non-humanoid races, they're not going to agree with that point of view. They're out there just to focus on the things that they have in common, right? And that's how they get together, and that's how they try to keep the peace in the galaxy, because every race has their own perspective, just like any animal in our kingdom has their own perspective, has their own way of being, has their own emotional, biological structure. I mean, you can't change. The snake has its own way of being. Like, we're not going to change it. we're not here to change beings, and we're not going to change the way they think and behave. We need to focus on things that we have in common. And again, it's diversity. What they're trying to destroy our diversity here in the USA. But our country was made from diversity. There's a phobia against immigrants. It's ridiculous when 90% of the population, which actually is American born, 90% of the crimes are committed by American born citizens. But then they have been told that the migrants are the only bad criminals. No, there's criminals in every pocket of society. In your neighborhood, there's criminals. Doesn't matter what status. It's just something that is broken within that person. No matter if you're rich or poor, you have criminals in every level. Um, uh, Again, so that's a whole different topic too. But what I'm saying is, we have phobias are just created and spun upon. Oh, we need to be anti-migrants. Sorry, like, it's not. It's a civil offense not for them to have documents. It's not a criminal offense. You litigate that in a civil court for civil cases, not in criminal court. Let's go after criminals and wipe those out of our society, because we don't need that. We need balance. Balance is what gives us another step into our evolution. When everything is in balance, when something is not, you can't go forward. You need to be in balance to navigate your boat forward, right? All right. Going back to federation, then, we can't impose like my reality, my truth upon earth. And Terrans, it's terra, terre, in French, or in Latin language, for example. In Portuguese, it's terra. So, like, that's where Terran's word came from. Like, it's not like, it's a matter of language. So, in case somebody's like, ETs don't call us names like now. I think through Elena it became Terrans, and now everybody's saying it's Terrans. Like, okay, it's the earth beings, right? We can put any vocabulary to what we want to things. You can label things according to what you want. So now it became Terrans, but just it's more of a Latin language root base because of what I just explained. So if the beings decided to communicate with us, and that person receiving the message had a Latin base root, either French, Portuguese, or Spanish, all those languages, they are Latin based. So that's why it ended up being the Terrans, all right? Now, again, also talking about how he found it was bizarre that he heard people that say they're connected to the Federation and they're just talking about love and light, when you actually are at a different level in your frequency. Let's say you're out in 5D, you have an overall better picture of us than in 3D, because you have a broader perspective. It's like, instead of living linearly, like from a film strip to film strip, moment by moment, you actually get to see the whole roll from above. You see the whole movie at once, and not live it from film strip to film strip, scene by scene, as we live our lives here in a linear strip, right? Scene by scene, today, tomorrow, past. They can see the whole overall. So on that perspective, you can see the good and bad right there at once. So in my understanding, they would be in a more of a balanced perspective than ours, that are this so polar, right? So polar, like a battery. We need both to make the battery work. So we just label it bad and good, positive, negative, but we need both sides. So their perspective can't just be love and light because you need both sides to make it happen. So the battery won't work if you don't have the balance in between the forces. They are there to keep the balance of the forces of all those different beings from the fauna, right? The galactic fauna. They're there to keep the balance. So they shouldn't, or Elena shouldn't just be talking about love and light, love and light. It's like, let's be more neutral. Maybe that's what pisses people off. That she's just talking about love, love, light. Let's be a little bit normal because we don't talk about, we're on a daily life. We're not around, oh, let's love, love and light. But it's not something bad that she's saying. She's just giving her perspective. Let's focus on something good. But then she gets trashed for being so sweet and talking about, the positive things about love and like the good messages, right? And somehow that turns people off. Like, how is that possible? I don't get that either. Leave the lady alone, please. She's just doing something from her heart. So she doesn't talk about the negative, and when she talks about the negative, then she gets trashed too. And then the point is that she goes way beyond in her own world, and then she gets burned by everybody. She needs to go back to neutrality. We all need to do that. We are just dividing ourselves. She's dividing herself. Look at what she did to me. Or not her personally. I don't even know if she knows what her gatekeepers do. But they end up hurting people that actually appreciate her. That, I love her. I love her just as much as I love Bashar, just as much as I love EA, just as much as I love Billy Carson, um, and so forth. We have to focus on the things that people with a good intention are putting out there. Also, the lady that Dr. Salla was talking about that does QHHT, Sarah Brexman Cosme, that Michael Salla was defending. She basically has all these clients that she has gotten information from. She was an apprentice of Dolores Cannon. So Elena also went ahead and trashed her for writing the books. Like, what's wrong with that? As long as your client has agreed upon, you go into a session and you write, oh, okay, I allow you to, talk about the information that we talked in my session. That's a release of your information. As long as you don't talk who that person is, you're just saying what she experienced, what information came through, and that has helped our community tremendously for us to figure out what's going on out there, right? So she has contributed so much, and all the channelers and all our community. We can't just go and trash people when they have done something which is positive. Let's look at that side. It is something great that we are sharing information that has come to our observation. So either through friends, through a patient, through direct contact, everything is valid. We just get all these pieces of the puzzle and we put it together. But Elena's here trying to fight with everybody instead of inviting all these people over, having interviews with them, and vice versa. Oh, so we can learn from each other. That is the point. We're here to learn from each other, to put all the pieces of the puzzle together so we can have a better picture of it. So let's stop dividing yourselves, because this is chaos. This is chaos infiltrating into our community when we are supposed to be the most understandable, because we got a better picture than most beings that are in deeper densities, because we have contact with higher dimensions. So we need to understand the bigger picture. We need to keep the balance. We need to listen to each other, hear everybody's material, stop criticizing and attacking each other. Let's love everybody. Let's keep that. And again, I'm here in a perspective where I get along with both sides of the coin in a perspective. There's this movie called Maleficent, and she, Angelina Jolie, right, plays a great role there. I mean, a great portrayal of that being, great actress. And she has a daughter, Aurora. Aurora is like me. She would talk to the dark side. She would talk to all the beings and put them together on the table so they can all contribute. And when I'm talking about that, is not that I embrace the dark at all. I've seen them, or experienced them in dark parts of my life when I was really sick, and another time after a channeling from a different person that I went to participate in her class. So Elena needs to understand we're not out here to get you. At least my perspective, at least from my end, I really, she's all, I mean, when I met her at her convention, she treated me so nice, and I really liked her energy. And it's just unfortunate the way I was treated. I have no idea why. I guess, like I said, they're just so afraid of the ones that don't like her that they end up treating people that do care for them the same way back. So that's sad. Again, so we're not out there to get you. Maybe you need to surround yourself, open yourself more, talk to other people instead of being isolated, because then communication is key. Always we need to communicate with everybody, and that's what the Federation does, right? They communicate in their assemblies with every perspective, and they hear them all out. Elena's not hearing everybody out, but just in a reactive mode. Not, I mean, more like an animal that's trapped. They just lash out, and she's not reaching out to others. I think then that's a cycle that's being created in our, and I don't like to see that. I want everybody getting along. Hopefully her and Michael Salla will make amends, but for that she needs to see everybody's perspective. If she's gonna change, I don't know. I like to hope that people do change, because we are here to work as one. We are one with different perspectives. So she has the right to say things when she's being attacked. And she was, for example, so nice when she talked about Corey Good was just attacking her, and but now she's just being like him. Corey Good was attacking everybody after he had the fallout, and then started suing everybody, suing Gaia, suing this, suing that. Oh my goodness. So it's sad. He also has had his experiences, and then he went to join the dark side. Unfortunately, I feel like he's like a brother that got a little lost because me and him share the same family, the R or the Ra, how you call it, from the law of one. Anyways, I'm talking about Corey Good. So he went out to lash against everybody, and he had his quarrel with Gaia. It's unfortunate how it all came down, but he just became so mean, and he was attacking also Elena years later after he had the fallout with Gaia. I love Gaia. He started attacking Elena as well, and she felt saddened about his attacks when they could work together. So she was in that position, but now she's the one attacking everybody. She's acting like him. I hope these two go back to their senses and start, they're talking. When you talk about love so much, where's the love, right? You gotta see the love in everybody. And I hope she sees that, sees the love coming from me, who's always been a supporter, sees the love from uh, Michael Salla, and telling her, giving her his opinion, like, why is she acting up like that? So maybe she can hear this message. Like, let's unite. That's the whole point. Unity. Unity is finding the common ground in all of us. And what unites us is the energy called love, yes. But we need to respect the other side. I was talking about the dark side is not like, oh, I'm going to embrace them. But if you see the dark side, it's because you are in their level of frequency, so there's a message for you there. So you got to thank them for that message. If you got into an accident, something happened, it's because it's trying to shift you away from where you are right now. And that point where you are right now, it's probably not the right place for you to be. That's why you get to see the dark entity, or you get to see the chaos, or you get to see the disaster, because it's trying to tell you, get out of there. So like, boo, get out of there. What are you doing here? So they come tell you, get out. So thank you. Say thank you and move on. And that's how you thank them. You can just keep everybody in their own place, let them live their own lives the way they want to live it. Either it's your friend, your family, you could be even your own husband that now is acting up, right? And you don't recognize that person. Let them live their story, their journey. Respect them, and then you just keep on doing your thing. But instead of fighting with everybody, just grasp what serves you. And that's the whole point. We need to unite. Diversity. We are all different. We are diverse. Each single one of us is unique, but we need to stop this fighting. We are here, and I am here to remind you. Unite, and that starts from within. It starts from you. All right? And again, it's yin and yang. Don't mistake, oh, we're talking about love, just light. I'm talking about neutrality. So let's be neutral. Maybe that should be the message. Neutrality is unity, all right? Because you unite in that point. All right. Have a great, great rest of your week, and I'm sending you a lot of love. Bye.